Good morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you today?
We are fine, thank you.
Okay, please stand for our prayer. Please read Oscar.
Angel of God, my guardian,
Love,
is here. Ever see God beside, light and guide, to the God even.
Again, good morning, class.
Good morning, teacher.
How are you today?
We are fine, thank you.
Well, that's good to hear. You may now take your seat.
Thank you, teacher.
So, is there any absent today, class?
Now, teacher.
Very good. So, do we have an assignment last meeting?
Now, teacher.
So that's good to hear. So give yourself a warming clap for everyone because you are present for today. So now, before we proceed to our discussion in this morning, I have here the classroom rules that we need to follow during our class discussion. Everybody, please read.
Classroom rules. Show respect. Engage actively. Help others. Take responsibility.
Okay, so in order for us to follow our direction, our classroom rules, I want you to cooperate and participate. So I have here a behavioral chart, and this apple represents as your reward. So if you cooperate, participate, and follow our classroom rules, I will give you apple. But if you're not cooperate and participate, I will get all of your apples and give it to the other group. Do you understand, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So now, class, we will have a game. So do you want a game, class?
Yes, teacher.
So I have here a lot of balloons. So we have 4 balloons. It calls Pop Me. So I want 3 representative each group. But before that, I will group you into 3. This will be the group 1, group 2, and group 3. So please come here in front of who is your representative to get your learning materials. Okay, pick 1 balloon. Okay, so you may now go to your respective groups and so if you discuss within your group and then you're done, you may now paste your output in front. Okay, now let's try to check what is in the balloon. So, okay, class, what did you observe in the picture of group 1?
Barbie.
Please raise your hand. Okay, Oscar.
I think the pictures shows a wedding picture.
Okay, you have a point. The picture shows it is a smoke food, which is the meat is being smoked using wood. So how about the second picture? Okay.
Salty chef.
Okay, the picture shows salt and fish. So give 1 clap for Christian. Okay, the picture shows fish coated with salt. So now let's proceed for the group 3 pictures. Anyone? Okay, Mark.
Good teacher.
Very good. So give 1 clap for Mark. Okay, the picture shows different kinds of canned goods. So now, these pictures are related to our topic in this morning. So, can you guess what is our topic for today? Okay, what an idea? Okay, Oscar?
I think our topic for today, teacher, is all about food distribution.
Okay, you have a point. So, our topic this morning is all about okay. So, our topic for today is all about different ways of food preservation. Again, class, what is our topic for today?
Different ways of food preservation.
Alright. So our topic for today is all about different ways of food preservation. So, who among of you have an idea what is food preservation? Okay, Oscar?
Serving food. Food preservation, teacher, talks about preserving food.
Okay, give 3 claps for Oscar. Yes, it is a food preservation. But before we discuss about different ways of food preservation, I have here an objectives that we need to attain during our class discussion. Okay, everybody please read.
Identify the different ways of food preservation. Classify the different ways of food preservation through the given pictures and appreciate the advantages of knowing different ways of preserving through given activities.
Okay, so in order for us to attain these objectives, I want you to cooperate and participate. So again, so what do you think is food preservation? Okay, Vince?
Food preservation is the process through the how to maintain our food good.
Okay, give 3 claps for Vince. Okay, you have a point. So, what is food preservation? So, food preservation is a process of treating and handling food to slow down spoilage, to prevent foodborne illness, and extend its shelf life. So, food preservation, it is a process wherein the food is being preserved in different ways. So, there are 9 ways of food preservation. Everybody, please read.
Drying, salting, freezing, refrigerating, smoking, curing, pickling, canning, shipping, sugar.
Okay, so we have 9 food preservation. So now we have 9 ways of food preservation. So now we will discuss first what is drying. So anyone who have an idea what is drying? Okay, Vince.
I think drying, teacher, it is all about the food to the food is to put in under the sun to dry the food, teacher.
Very good. So give 5 claps for Vince. Okay, so you have a point, Vince. So drying, it is one of the oldest method of preserving food, removing moisture from food to prevent spoilage. It is the food that preserved using direct sunlight. So drying, it is a way of preserving food in which it preserved using direct sunlight. So have you been tried to use this kind of way of preservation, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, when? Where? I mean, where?
In our house, teacher.
Very good. So we usually do this drying method at home. So there are different. So I will show you now what are the examples of food that being preserved using drying. So here are the following examples. So we have dried fish and dried
Dried
mango.
mango.
So, is it familiar to you, class, what is dried fish?
Yes, teacher.
Alright, so dried fish is a common food that we eat in our home. Even it is not really healthy, but it is our source of food. So, dried mangoes. Have you tried to eat dried mangoes, class?
But
Yes,
sir.
teacher.
Alright, that's good to hear. So, these are following examples of drying method in preserving food. So, can you give me another example, class, of drying? Okay, please stand, Oscar.
Teacher.
Very good. Give what a nice clap for Oscar.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What nice.
Very good. So Oscar says usaos. Yes, it is familiar to us. We usually do that food in preserving the meat, especially the horse meat. So, have you tried to eat that kind of meat, class?
Yes, teacher.
Alright, so what does it taste?
Meat. Delicious.
Okay, yes, you're right, it is delicious. So now, let's proceed to the next food preservation. Okay, now we proceed to the second drying ways of preserving food. So we have salting. So everybody, please read what is salting.
Salting, processing salt to drown moisture and kill bacteria.
Okay, so salting is a way of food preservation. So it involves salt in the food. So for example, we have ginamos. So is it familiar to you, class?
Yes, teacher.
So do you have a ginamos at home?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ginamos becomes our appetizer for us to eat more food. So how about uyak? Is it familiar to you?
Yes, teacher.
So do you have uyak at home?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Is it, what is the taste of uyak?
Salty.
Okay, very good. It is salty. So, can you give me another ways of food preservation using salt? Okay, please raise your hand.
Teacher.
Okay, Mark.
Tinapal, teacher.
Very good. Tinabal is a common ways of food being preserved using salt. A fish coated with salt and stored in a long months or it could be years. So now let's. Do you have any question about salting, class?
No, teacher.
Okay, that's great. So now let's proceed to the next food preservation, which is freezing. Everybody, please read.
Freezing. It is a way of storing food at low temperature to slow bacteria growth.
Okay. Freezing is a ways on preserving food using refrigerator or freezer. So it gives long lasting of the food. For the common example of freezing are pork meat and chicken meat. So have you seen a freezer, class, or refrigerator?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so we usually found this one at the meat shop or at home. So they sell pork meat and chicken meat. So have you seen pork meat, class?
Yes, teacher.
So do you have at home?
Yes, teacher.
Very good. So that's good to hear. So it preserves using freezer. So now let's proceed to the next ways of food preservation. We have refrigerating. So everybody, please read.
Refrigerating is to keep food at cool temperatures to slow spoilage.
All right. Refrigerating refrigerating is a way of food preservation using refrigerators. So now we will know some example of food preservation using refrigerating. So we have fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. So do you have a fresh vegetables in your refrigerator class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that's good to hear. So how about fresh fruits? Do you have fresh fruits in your refrigerator?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so it is one of the example of food that being stored in refrigerator. So, can you give me another example of food that preserved using refrigerator? Anyone? Okay, Martin?
Food teacher. Like gardening, like that.
Okay, so sorry for that. Meat can store in freezer, not in the refrigerator. So you can store food like vegetables, fruits. For fruits, we have apple, orange, or any kinds of fruit. So now let's proceed to the next preservation. So do you have any questions about refrigerating class?
None, teacher.
Okay. So if yes, what is your questions?
Sorry, teacher.
Okay. So now let's proceed to the next preservation. We have smoking. So everybody, please read.
Smoking was posing points of smoke.
Please read properly, class.
Smoking. Exposing food to smoke to add flavor and prevent spoilage.
Okay. Smoking is one of the way of food preservation. It uses wood or a charcoal. So here are some examples. We have balbakwa and smoked fish. So is it familiar to you, class, what is balbakwa?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what kind of meat is that?
Cow.
Okay,
Cow.
cow.
Skin of the cow.
The skin of the
Cow.
cow.
Yes.
So where do they usually put the skin of the cow?
Above the abuhan.
Oh yes, it's above in the we call that abuhan. So it gives a smoke flavor to the meat. So how about smoked fish? Do you usually use this kind of method, class?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, we can use charcoal to preserve the food, which is using the smoke of the wood. So, can you give me another example of what they call this? Smoking. Okay, do you have another example of
Barbecue.
smoking?
Barbecue, teacher.
No, because barbecue it is already cooked, not preserving. So one of the example of that is it consider the bulad. No, it is usually stored in the direct sunlight.
Kusahos, teacher.
Yes. Kusahos, it is also one way of preserving food. Because some of people use instead of let them dry in the direct sunlight, they usually put in the abuhan. Okay, now let's proceed to the next food preservation. Now we have pickling. So everybody please read.
It's pickling. It soaks food in vinegar or brine to prevent spoilage.
Okay. So pickling, it is way of preserving food using container or a can. So here are some examples. We have achara and pickled mangoes. So is it familiar to you what is achara, class?
Yes, teacher.
So have you tried doing this ways of preserving food.
Yes, teacher.
So what is do you usually taste of achara?
Sour.
Okay, sour. Some sour and little sweet. So, how about pickled mangoes? Have you tried that, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, it is a mango that's stored in a jar. So, can you give me another example of pickling, class? Kinilaw, it is not the way of preserving food. It is a food process making kinilaw. So, one of the example of that is like cucumber pickle. So, have you tried that one, class? So, have you seen a cucumber?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, you can slice that one and preserve using pickling method. So, do you have any questions about pickling, class?
None, teacher.
Okay. So, you can store different kinds of vegetables in pickling method. So, next is canning. Everybody, please read.
Canning is involved heating food, sealing it in airtight containers to kill bacteria.
Okay. So, canning, it is way of preserving food. For example, with that is sardines and corned beef. So, it is stored in the can. So, have you seen a sardines, class?
Yes, teacher.
Where do we usually see a sardines?
In store.
Yes, in store. It is a common food that being stored in the can. How about corned beef?
Yes, teacher.
Have you tried to eat corned beef, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. So, now, do you know what is canning?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, if that case, can you give me another example of food that use canning method?
Teacher.
Okay, Mark, please stand.
Wow, ulam, teacher.
Very good. Wow, ulam. Have you seen a wow ulam, class?
Yes, teacher.
Very good. So, another. Can you give me another example? Okay, Vince.
No, teacher. Green beans.
Okay, green beans can be the example of canning. And one of that is like century tuna, sausage, like that. One of the example of
Condensed, teacher.
canning. What?
Condensed.
Yes, condensed. It can be using canning. So they use can to preserve food. So it also helps to, if there's a calamities, and it is usually way of giving them canned goods because it already being preserved. So now let's proceed to sweetening. So everybody, please read.
Sweetening uses sugar to preserve food by preventing bacterial growth.
Okay. So sweetening, it is same way related to pickling. So sweetening, it is if you have an extra food like fruits. Example with that is the mangoes. You can create that one as sweetening. So you can create like a jam. So now I will show you another example. We have pineapple jam and apple jam. So it is one of the example of sweetening. So pineapple jam. Have you tried to eat a pineapple jam, class?
No, teacher.
Okay. Some of you know, not having tried yet, but the common jam that we usually use is apple jam or orange jam. So now, do you know already what is sweetening method, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So now let's proceed to curing. But before that, can you give me another ways using sweetening? Can you give me an example? Okay, Vince.
Ano, teacher? Guava. When I remember when I was a kid, my mother sinugo niya ako na kumuha ng mga bayabas. Yun pala, ginawa niyang jam.
Yes, guava and you can use that. You can have that as a jam. It gives sweetening to the guava. So now let's proceed to curing. So everybody, please read.
Curing. Use some sugar citrates to preserve food, especially meat. It helps the food add flavor and avoid spoilage.
Okay. So curing, it is a way of food preservation and it's stored for a long time to preserve. For example of that is we have ham and sausage. So, is it familiar to you, the food ham class?
Yes, teacher.
So, when is the time do we usually see a ham? We usually see ham during Christmas, in every occasion we have. So, ham, you can see this at meat shop. Of course, meat shop. It is they preserve it in a long time. So, sausage. Do you familiar with sausage class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So, they use, one of the example is sausage. They store it in the room wherein there's no moisture around. So that it will, the food dry and preserve. So, do you have any questions about curing class?
None, teacher.
Alright. So now let's proceed to another activity. So do you have any questions about the 9 ways of food preservation class?
None, teacher.
Okay, again, what are the 9 ways of food preservation? Anyone? Okay, Vince?
Drying. Okay.
Okay, another.
Salting, teacher.
Very good. Okay, anyone? There is a lot of ways. Okay, refrigerating. So, we have a 9 ways of food preservation. We have salting, drying, freezing, refrigerating, canning, sweetening, salting, pickling, and curing. Those are some ways of food preservation that makes our food being preserved. So, do you have any question, class?
None, teacher.
Okay, so if none, then we will proceed to another activity. So, are you ready, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, same with your respective group, and please come here in front to get your learning materials. Okay, so I will give you 5 minutes to do your task. So 3 minutes left.
Smoking. Yan. Okay.
Okay, if you're done, you may now face your elbow in front. So you have 1 minute left. Okay, face it in front. Let me try. That would
Smoking, drying, drying, drying. I don't know.
see, I can check whether it's low maximum answer. Sige, okay, check that out. Okay, so pick some paper class before you leave. Okay, now let's try to check your output. Okay, the first group is classify the picture under to what ways of preservation it belongs. So, we have sweetening. So, is this an example of sweetening, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, how about this? It is a freezing or not?
Freezing, teacher.
Correct. It is correct. So, how about this one? It is canning.
Yes, teacher.
Very good. It is one of the example of canning. How about this one?
Salting, teacher.
Very good. Fish that being sold, like using salt. Very good. So how about this one?
Smoking, teacher.
Alright, the fish being smoked in the what we usually call a buhay. Correct. So how about this one?
Refrigerating, teacher.
Very good. They have it is a refrigerating because it stored milk, fruits, and eggs. It So, how about this one?
Drying, teacher.
Very good. It is drying because it has a, what we call this, fruits being dried in the sunlight. It is correct. How about this one?
Pickling, teacher.
Very good. It is pickling. A cucumber stored in the jar. It is correct. So, the last one is curing. Yes, it is a meat that being cured for a longest time to have a good flavor and taste, and also to preserve it long. It is correct. So, you all got the correct answers. I will give you 10 points for group 1. So, give 5 claps for group 1. Now, let's proceed to group 2. So, the direction is identify what food preservation is in the picture. So, the picture first, it is a dried fish. So, dried fish is an example of?
Dry.
Yes, drying. It is using direct sunlight. So, it is correct. So, now, this one, it is refrigerating or not?
Refrigerating, teacher.
Good. It is refrigerating. It is correct. So, how about this one? It is correct or not?
Correct, teacher. Pickling.
Very good. It is one of the example of pickling. It contains onions, garlic, and pepper. So the next one, it is
Salting.
very good. It is one of the example of salting. It is correct. Now we have smoking. Yes, it is correct. A fish is smoked. Now let's proceed to, it is frozen. It is the correct answer, class.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, it is not, because frozen, it is frozen meat or being frozen. But the correct one, it is freezing. So it is wrong. So how about this one?
Canning.
Okay, very good. It is canning because it is stored using can to preserve the food. Now let's proceed to the sweetening. So it is correct. It is sweetening. So but the spelling is wrong. So the correct spelling is
S-W-A-A-N.
Okay, Ben, what is the correct spelling of sweetening?
S-W-E-T-E-N-I-N-G, teacher.
Very good. Please give 5 claps for Vince. That is the correct spelling of sweetening. So it is wrong. So the last one, it is curing. So it is one of the example of curing. So you got 8 points. Okay, for the group 3, so the direction is choose 3 best ways of food preservation and explain why they are effective. So now let's try to read the answer. So salting, it is the best because it can usually apply in my home. Very good. Salting is a common way of preserving food in our culture. So it is correct. So the next is smoking. It is the best because through this way we can preserve food without using the spending money. Very good. Smoking, you can use that way to preserve food, not using refrigerating or freezing method. So it is correct. You have the idea. So the next one is canning.
It is the
It is the best because it is very useful during calamities. Very good. Canning, it is one of the best way of preserving food during calamities. It helps the food being preserved in the can. It is correct. So, you got the perfect score of 10. Okay, so give an Indonesia clap for everyone.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Very good, very good, very good.
Okay, so now I have seen that you really know our topic in this morning. So now let's try to. I will give you a reward for your cooperation. So I have here an apple. So I have seen that all of the group will cooperate. So I will give you 2 apples each group. Okay, so now let's proceed. So, do you have any questions about our discussion for today, class?
None, teacher.
So if none, then I will ask some questions. Okay, what is food preservation? Okay, Oscar.
Food preservation is a process of treating or maintaining our foods to prevent spoilage and bacteria etc.
Very good. You have the point. So give what a nice clap for Oscar.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What a nice.
Alright, so it is correct. It is a way of preserving food to avoid spoilage and bacteria. So now let's proceed to another questions. So what are the different ways of preserving food? Okay, Mark?
The different ways of preserving food, teacher, are sweetening, freezing, canning, salting, smoking, refrigerating, drying, pickling, and curing, teacher.
Very good. Those are some examples. Those are the 9 ways of preserving food. Now for the last question, why food preservation is important in why food preservation is important in our life? Okay, Vince?
Food preservation is important in our life because in food preservation we can less money, less spending money to, and also to our food prevent spoilage and to maintain the food healthy.
Alright, so give what a nice clap for Vince.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. What a nice.
Very good. So Vince has the correct answer. So it's important to preserve. It is important in our life, the food preservation, because it helps us to store and it gives us long time for long time preservation of our food. It gives a helpful way to preserve our food so that it will long last. So now I have seen that you really understand our topic in this morning. So we will have another quiz. So for the direction, please read.
Choose the letter of the correct answer and write your answer as it is provided below.
Okay, can you get one portion of paper? Okay, are you done, class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you may now pass the paper in front. Okay, so now before we end our discussion this morning, we will have an assignment. So for assignment, everybody, please read.
Bring a finished product in food preservation and identify the method used in preserving the food.
Okay, so that will be passed on the next meeting. So goodbye, class.
Goodbye, teacher. Thank you for teaching us today. God bless us all.